And tracking the state of Florida, among other things, including all House and Senate races tonight. Lester, over to you.
Well, one of the situations that's going on in Florida is the turnout. The turnout much higher than they've seen in past elections, and that is causing some problems getting the votes counted in some key areas right now, Brian. I want to show you on the telestrator what's going on. One of the areas that we're looking at very carefully, of course, is Dade County down here, Broward County here. Now, these are areas that would traditionally go, well, let's see, Dade would kind of split right now. Gore is just a little bit over half the vote. Broward would go traditionally Democratic, more liberal base there. But these are areas where we've seen a lot of the vote not counted. This could swing more Democratic. Now, when you go to across into I guess Hillsborough area, this could split either way, and the candidates have both spent a lot of time in Tampa, stumping for votes there. It could be a very swing area in this election. And then you look at the Palm Beach area. Let's go back on the East Coast. Palm Beach is another key area. You've got a lot of Jewish elderly here, but another area that could split either way. There's still some 30% of the vote that hasn't been counted in this area. So these will be keys right now. Huge turnout, a lot of votes still to count in Florida right now, and that will be something that we'll watch all night long, Brian.
All right, Lester, and we can't repeat this enough, especially since viewers are joining us every few minutes. The game is to get Florida and one other state. At this hour, in a 242 race, Florida alone won't get you there, won't get you to the promised land of 270. It's Florida and one other. Again, the following scenario. Gore, say, could win Florida. If Bush wins all the other outstanding states, Bush wins. So there they are, the crucial five: Nevada, Wisconsin, Florida, Oregon, and Iowa. At ground zero for us tonight, as he has been all evening, NBC News correspondent Kerry Sanders in Florida. Kerry, good evening once again.
Well, good evening, Brian. I'm standing here at the Supervisor of Elections in Broward County, which is the Fort Lauderdale area, and as you can see, they're processing the vote counts here. They're still looking for some ballot boxes that are missing here, but they are out there with deputies looking for the ballot boxes. Broward County is expected to be a Democratic county, but there are other counties, when you look at the breakdown of the registered voters, that are still out there, that are still underreporting for what is now well past midnight. You'd expect the count to be a little bit better. Some of this, of course, is due to the fact that there was such a record turnout in Florida for this election. But up in the Jacksonville area, in Hillsborough, which is in Tampa, and down in Miami, they are still underreporting for the hour, when you would expect at this point most of the count to be done. One of the things that may ultimately determine this, Brian, is the absentee ballots. Initially, they thought there were about 575,000 absentee ballots that went out. I spoke to somebody at the State Supervisor of Elections office in the state capitol here just a short time ago. They have now recalculated at this late hour that there may be as many as 1 million absentee ballots out across the state of Florida. That might explain why those exit polls revealed Gore as the winner, and then the networks had to pull back and say, well, the state is still in play, because it doesn't take into account those.
Okay, Kerry, you're still with us.
I'm sorry, we're getting some confusing signals in my ear. I'm not sure. Brian, are you with me still?
Yeah, we're all with you.
Brian, are you still with me?
All right, we've lost communications with Kerry Sanders. It happens. Here briefly is the timeline this evening. All the networks called Florida for Al Gore. Then phones lit up at all the networks. It was senior officials in Austin, Texas, calling the networks saying, look, trust us, something's wrong with your Florida numbers. This can't be. The governor of Texas, George W. Bush, made a critical decision to allow the press pool into the living room area of the governor's mansion, where he chose to watch the returns. With him, his mom and dad, and his wife, Laura. And it was then that we received the following statement from the governor of Texas.
Well, call me when you hear something. Thanks. That was the governor of Pennsylvania.
What did he say?
Well, he's not conceding anything, and I'm not either, in the state of Pennsylvania. Nor are we conceding anything in Florida. I know